Happy Thursday again. Hey, good morning. Stryax. How are you? Alright, I think we're about ready. Just got everything set up, except for Godot. Look at that. There we go. Now, in the background of this, I'm going to run some fuzzing on the previous project, so we'll see how that goes. We're gonna go cargo fuzz. It has actually covered, revealed some off by one errors, things like that. It's great. This one and this one. And if they become too much of a system drain, we'll kick them off, but we'll see how it goes. It's cranking. All right. Godot's over here on tab 5. Gonna be on tab 1 quite a bit. Let's set up read chat over here. Alright, now, where were we? We were building up some of the text in the UI, and we need multiple lines. So, we're going to be multiplying the line height, and I'm going to try to get multi-lines working here. You can see we've got these fonts now positioning on the screen. You can see they're tessellated. Look at that dot on that exclamation. That's neat looking. Huh. W's a little bit more complicated than I thought it would be. Towards the middle, on the center legs, I was not expecting to see dots there. This is the Godot font. Anyhow. We've got line height in centimeters here. This should allow us to multiply and to wrap this text at certain spaces. Now, each glyph here in centimeters, oh wow. So we're supposed to be wrapping this within centimeters. 30,000 is very large. I believe those squares there are 1 meter. So let's say we'll maybe like 50 or something. 500 centimeters. So about half of one of those. I just want to see that it wraps. It does not appear to be wrapping. Change the test. Works pretty well. It's only 13,000 verts on screen. It's not bad. Okay. So if the line height changes, good. And we call it self layout. self-layout is down here somewhere. Now when we lay these out, we're going to be multiplying the line height. I expect to be passed through here. This translation, I think, is... let's verify that this is correct. Because if that line height is not coming through, or if the line isn't changing, you know what, it's probably just not correct yet. Let's go back into text, control text. So eventually, through all of this, layout is called. And for no better reason, we create a new TTF parser measurer, giving it the font face, white space word wrap, and then we ask it to wrap it with positions. However, I don't know that this information here is correct. So we need to be able to convert width in CMs to line width in EMs. The scale that we get up here, it's actually taken from the font. So the fonts are measured in EMs, units per EM. So we take the units per EM and this doesn't seem right, does it? Because if this is returning the units per EM, and we want to be able to convert EM to centimeters, we need some sort of, well, conversion table. Not table, but that's the wrong phrase for that, isn't it? I mean, here I'm saying that an EM is basically 100th of a centimeter. Huh. Sorry, something happened behind me. It surprised me. How many EMs are in a centimeter? That is the question. 100? I feel like this has to be worked out better. And maybe we need some other function here. Morning, Wardley. I think you hit a super weird compiler bug last night. Something about type inference depending on the number of if branches you had. Huh. Oh, interesting. Was it async code? You realized at one point called clone on an RC instead of an RC clone. Interesting. The number of branches changes. Changing what that inference was. Interesting. I guess that'd make a difference if you had something that was clonable inside of the RC. Because you'd deref it by calling the .clone. And that makes sense. It makes sense that the type would be what you're not expecting. Huh. The line was exclusive borrow to deref borrow mutable. Putting parentheses around the deref helped. Yes. Yeah, the dot operator has higher precedence than the deref does, so you always have to use the parentheses. Rather than, what do they call the asterisk in this position? Alright, I've got to get the units per cm out before. Oh, I haven't upgraded lately. Maybe I should do that. I'll set up here. There we go. Do I have a button stuck? That was weird. This is a creepy, funky song. They call it atomic funk. Maybe it's more like a zombie funk. Not a fan. Just not a fan. There we go. Alright, let's restart Godot. While we're doing that, let's double check on this. Oh, it's still going? Alright. What do we have here? Oh, let's open the scene. Our text is gone. It's likely due to the fact that we're wrapping too tightly. What's it saying here? It's giving us a translation. That's odd. We change the font size just a little. That should redraw everything. My buffer's not going back. That's strange. It stops right there. That's in the foreground. Still nothing. The lines are all the same though. See that? Say 500. Let it go. The lines increase. It's good. And that's good. So the lines are changing now. Which is perfect. The downside is we're not getting very good debug information in that. Let's toss the debug information not in here, but in Godot. It's going to whine about having too much there. But that one appeared okay. Get rid of that one. We should have gotten some sort of output. Ooh, look, there it is. Units per centimeter. That cannot be correct. Is this scaling things to oblivion? No, not there. Alright, that function is wrong. Units per cm. What was it before? It was... just use diff split. It was 1 divided by units per cm. Huh. Oh, Mr. Chat. To be honest, I'm not even sure why I needed to reborrow. Probably adding and removing the borrow and the asterisk and still the compiler's happy thing. I understand that. Oh, that's great. I'm glad you got it working. How is your project going? Alright. Wow, it's already up to 2 million. And 1 million. Looks like the position one's twice as slow. Or half as fast. Being interrupted by weather. And I feel sorry for all those people that don't have power. We're in a place where we actually expect our power to go out and not have reliable services. Yeah, it's gotta be tough down there. Alright, give that a close. And fire it up. There we go. Font size 40. Is that 40? Oh, how wide is that? I mean, just the fact that you think about pipes freezing and car batteries dying, I think you know more than most people. I don't think people expect their cars not to work in the freezing cold. Just imagine how much automobile damage there's going to be. Freezing pipes, ugh. Construction's gonna halt in many areas just due to all the repairs that are going to need to be done. Alright, so this, really we just want to get it to wrap. And why are you not wrapping? Oh, that sucks. Locked yourself out when it was running. Yes. You see that around here all the time. Just vehicles sitting around running, but usually people don't lock themselves out here. There we go. Okay, I got that backwards. You can tell my head's not really there today. These are multiplication. Yeah, those cars are just going to die. I mean, you can crack all sorts of stuff in there. Water is not a nice sort of playmate when you freeze it. Look at that. Really? Units per cm. Line width in cm. That went even smaller? Or did it not load up? Say this is supposed to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 meters across, so is it all there? The wireframe. Yeah, it's all there. Huh. The line width in EM is too small. So if we increase this 500, almost there. There. Our line height, but these things are just barely. There we go. Oh, and it's going the opposite direction. Well, that's useful to see. It's not bad if we get the order of magnitude dialed in. Alright, so if I say that I want this to be 500, off by a lot. Oh, that's neat. Just makes a giant pillar. Why is math so hard this morning? Units per centimeter. That's actually fairly small. These things are... might be too small. So let's say a font, a glyph in this font is about, say 1500 square, maybe. You've commissioned your artist for 10 more characters. Progress is being made, even if you're stuck in other things. It's a good idea. If you look at the vertices here, the number increases when we get them on and off screen, so we know that the culling is working. I'm not sure why it's working. Oh, that's right. It's per glyph. We have a multi-mesh per glyph. That's right. All right, let me get a pen and paper. Right here. Let's just get some information. Units per EM. Godot debug this. What is our units per EM? I don't know what that is. There we go. Start it up again. Units per EM, 2048. So if we divide So if we were to divide this by 1, that would be our units in, so this would be, whatever this units is, right? need 48 units for 1 EM. We want this in. This is just dragging. Centimeters. So this equals how many centimeters? I don't know how many centimeters this should be. So we say this is equal to 1 centimeter. We could divide each side or multiply each side by 1 EM. Then we have 2048 units with 1 centimeter per 1 EM. That really says that. I made those motions. That's an EM down there. That means that actually I want this in. I like this song. Kind of chill. Yeah, this value has to go very, very small for this. So if we had 2048, because units per EM here is 2048, and then we wanted to convert that to centimeters. How many EM do we want in a centimeter? I have no idea. I think that's the part that where I'm getting lost, because I don't know how many EMs I want per centimeter. I guess we could play around a little bit, but just kind of see what feels right. Is that why I'm getting stuck on this? Just because of that? Yeah, it's because we don't know how many units we want per centimeter, how many EMs. And I think this one might be backwards. Hey, Brooke Zerger. And I always want to say GeoDev. I know it's not right. It's like GoEDev. Go Dev. Good morning and welcome, Raiders. We're trying to do math first thing in the morning, and it is not working. I stayed up way too late last night. I had to pick my kid up, and now I can't do anything. Maybe you could help me out. Because I just can't do this morning. Alright, now, a little bit of background. Godot, morning Chantilly Cake, epic blog. So if you can see this grid on there is 1 meter, a 1 meter grid. And you can see the text over there on the left, and we're trying to get this line wrapping and everything working. Alright, now our font, so fonts are written in some abstract unit, but part of the font data file is what the units per EM is, right? And EM was historically how wide the character M is, right? That's why it's M, the letter M. Now, in our case, we're using Roboto, and Roboto says that there are 2,048 units per EM. All right. Now, if we wanted to be able to convert that to centimeters, what would this be? I guess if our font size, if we specified our font size being 40 cm tall, then what would we do? We would take and multiply 40 times the units per EM, right? So this just feels so backwards. Can Google auto-convert that in a search? Oh, I wish. But EM is kind of arbitrary, and you have to define the conversion between EM and your scale. Right? It's like you have to define how many apples there are per orange. Now we get to decide. See, that's the thing. And I'm failing at this. So if we look, the units per EM is 2048. So that's written up here. We just want to get something kind of reasonable. And to me, it almost feels like a fool's errand. And that this is going to come down to the scale being correct. But I don't know, it feels like the scale is part of it to me. Oops, how did I butcher that? I beat up the scale along the way. See, that's there. See, I think this is actually wrong. So, we have 2,048 units per EM. Let's try this again. We want to be able to convert this to centimeters. Now, here, we have a meter grid. So, let's do this. Let's come into screen here. I'm going to try to overlay the the text, we're going to rotate the text 90 degrees on X. Negative 90. There we go. Now we can see it overlaid. So if we go to top perspective, right. So if we want something that's 40 centimeters tall, so if we say it's 40, we want something that's 40 centimeters tall. How many EMs is that? That's 40 times 2048, isn't it? Because the font is measured in 2048 units per EM. We do. So if we say that it's 2048 units per EM, it's 2048 units over 1 EM. Sorry, I'm writing this down because A-Sprite is being all laggy today. I'm actually fuzzing some stuff at the same time, so my computer's not the fastest beast in the land at the moment. So we got some fuzzing going on. Alright, so 2048 units over 1 EM, because there's 2048 units per EM. And then, how many EMs? That's the width. Okay, so it's basically 2048 square is the size of the box. Like if this was a square font. Come back to here. ETF. Here, let's just search for one of these. We'll get a good graphic here in a moment. Images. The horizontal and vertical measurements. Like this one, glyph metrics. Hey, morning, Reed Rainer. We are trying to get fonts to measure out in a unit that's not quite meant for. So we have tried to get these fonts positioned out in 3D space. So the grid here is, it's 1 meter square, and we're trying to get these units to some sane value. I would like to be able to say that this font is 40 centimeters tall, and that the line height is also maybe 40 centimeters. As you can see, it's not quite working. Now, if we come back here, the font data file is telling us that there are 2048 units per EM. I mean, EM is the width of the glyph, basically, right? It's basically the width of the size of the letter M. Capital letter M. So if it's 2048 in that direction, then say it's square, that's 2048 tall. So our font size in CM, if we want to say, hey, no, it's 40. All right. So we have 40 centimeters, and we want that to be 1 EM. 40 centimeters is equal to 1 EM. And 1 EM is 2048 units. So we divide 2048 by 40. So it should be units per EM over, is that right? Because we have our 2048 units per EM, so that's 1 EM's worth. What if we said that 1 EM was 1 centimeter? How would we represent that? So there's our units per EM. Yeah, this, it feels like our units per EM is really the size per centimeter, isn't it? Then we just have to get the scale correct. Which is answering the same question. All right. Because in this case, we're just calling EMs CMs. Which is fine if we wanted to say that the height of the character is 1 centimeter by default. Okay, if we said that, see, if we get this wrong, we actually risk crashing Godot. Because if we create something just gigantic, it's going to maybe even crash my machine. Which has happened on stream before. I think this is terribly wrong. This needs to be a very, very small value. I think this is 1 over this. That in time. All right, let's see what this does. I think it's going to go poorly. That's what you get. Math before coffee, right? Godot. Gotta start Godot. All right. Uh-oh. Oh, text is very small in here. Oh, hold on. Let the dog. All right. Doggo's being loud. And all right. Sorry for dog being all panicky. All right. There's the text. Line height and see. Okay. Font size. That seems off a bit. Let's go ahead and fix the rotation. It's tiny. Off by maybe a factor of 10. Oh, dividing. See, that's more what I expect. Font size in CM is up 32 divided by that. The best way to deal with time zones is to ignore the problem. Pretend you're only UTC. That usually works. Until you have to render something in a browser on somebody's local time zone and deal with IE10 at the same time. I'm going to pour some tea here while that starts up. While it starts up. There we go. That's looking better, just too big. What did we leave the value at? Test! Font size in CM. 40? Okay. Going the right way now. So if we said 100, that should be meter. It's not. You said 1. Is that a meter? That's not a meter. Oh, maybe. We're off by 100. Let's use the letter M. Rotate it by -90. Raise it up a little. That looks like it's basically it. We're just off by 100. The scale. So I say 100. That gets gigantic. Come on, Godot. No crashing. No crashing. Why are we dividing by 100? Where's that extra 100 coming from? Is that... Am I changing this somewhere else? Is font size getting adjusted somewhere? No, nowhere. I mean, I like the idea of this actually working, but I don't like the idea of magic numbers. I seem to be using Rust for a lot of things in the game, not just the network stuff on the server. That's correct, I'm using everything. Except for Godot. Godot is not Rust. I'm gonna sit down. There we go. If only Godot could just be Rust. That would simplify some things. Alright, let's just try this. Let us save. Again. 20 EM equals 1 CM looks fishy. It does, doesn't it? It feels completely arbitrary. Right? So here, that seems to work. Font size. So if we in centimeters. And morning anti-666. We are struggling with math this morning. Just too tired to do it. But you're right. It does seem a little fishy. So we could say that goes there. Now let's see what else we need to do this for. Let's say that we're going to have 40. You tried to combine Godot and Rust for a game jam a while back. Oh, you couldn't figure out the linking and stuff. Oh, that's too bad. Switch to Bevy instead. How did you like Bevy? Line height. Let's say the line height is 100. It's easy. Width. Now these things should be spaced out. Let's say adding spaces. We get line breaks. It's 5. Uh-oh. Oh, it's way up there. see it way up there. Is that 2, 3, 400 up? Yeah, that needs to be. But this is line height in EMs, isn't it? That's what. Yeah, that's not right. It can be summed up in one word: promising. I tried Bevy a while back for this project here and came back to Godot. Yeah, that's why I'm using like meters, right? Because, well, what else is there? Promising is a positive way to say immature. Yeah, and I think that's actually a very, very good statement where they know where they're at. Next. Oh, there's the M. Well, oh, ew. I flipped that, didn't I? My mistake. I forgot when you move stuff like that, that should be multiplication. Again. Hold on a sec. Scammers on the call. And we're back. Gonna open up screen. There we go. All right. Now line width in centimeters. Let's say it's 100, so it wraps at about 1 meter. See, it's not doing that correctly. They should have broken there at the 1 meter mark. Line height. Go to 10, looks about right. 50, it's about halfway there. All right, so this width, is it off by like a factor of 100? Oops, -2. Oh, that's an interesting use case I never imagined. All right. Where are we using that? Probably just before we call layout. Let's make sure that we have that correct. Send text here. We're getting the units per cm. Yeah, see, having that 100 in there doesn't work for this. Oh, line with an EM. I think that the documentation I wrote for that other crate is wrong. We just call wrap with position and then layout. Layout takes the line height in. I think that's EM. This should be like centimeters. Morning, gentlemen. How are you? All right. Bring this back here instead of here. Then that's in the scale only. Oh. Font size in cm should be divided by 100 because we're doing this in... Oh, because Godot units are meters. That's why we divided this by 100. That's where that extra 100 comes from. That makes sense now. Maybe the font size should be in meters then. That will simplify this. Line height in meters. All right. Okay, so if we're using units per meter, we're just treating as that. We can get rid of the 100. So let's say we wanted to have, let's say, should be closer. All right, we'll have to set up that scene again because those property names are changing. Oh, I hope it built. Roswell, good morning. We do have that. Mainly what you're seeing is a COC. Hey, you're welcome. Alright. Here's text. Oh, it did not build. Look, those are still in CM there. That's not correct. Why did you not build? Oh, there's actually errors. Units per meter. Anything else? Yeah. That's a large M. Line height in meters, 40. We want it O.4. Oh, font size, we want O.4. Much smaller. looks about right. Line height in meters, we can say about 5. Oh, that's font size again. There. Line width in meters, 1. That's strange. Why is the width in meters like that? 2. That's interesting how they get stacked so tightly on top of each other there. Let's zoom out a little bit. Let's see. So we do 5. Okay, width in meters isn't correct. The wrapping's not happening at the right spot, but the other bits seem to be okay. Well, except for that, when it does wrap, it's going to the wrong height. I think that's still in EMs. This doesn't seem to scale up the way I would expect. 1's there. That's 1 EM, not 1 meter. TFW, the PM does a demo undeveloped without informing anyone in the team. And everything goes a merge breaks the environment. Oh. I'm so sorry. I've been there. That sucks. All right. Give that a save and close. Now, line height in meters. Why are we converting it to EMs? It should just be line height. Because the EM isn't correct there anyways. I'll just say line width, line height. Almost, or line high. For some reason, it's really hard to keep customers out of the dev environment. Ooh, interesting. Hopefully it's not the CEO. You don't understand? Yeah, he still does it. one time, for a certain account, we had set up a HTML bugs, CSS, JavaScript. I just want like actual bugs. This. For somebody's account, we actually enabled this just to make sure that it wouldn't get shown. It was great. It didn't last long, of course. The point was that we were trying to say that the software's buggy. Little creepy things. Alright, now, was the wrapping correct? I don't remember. I don't think the wrapping was correct. The line height, I don't think was correct either. In this case, the line height... Why does it need to be in meters here? Why are we multiplying the line height by that? Units per meter. It should just be line height in meters. If we have to change that. What do they call it? Line height. And where do you get used? There. Times the line. Yeah, and it's in meters now, so that should be fine. What is it that people refer to when they say they're using crawlers in their integration tests? So Google, just as an example, if you go to Google, right, and you search in Google with something, or DuckDuckGo, that data was fetched via a web crawler. Basically, it scans the pages, looks for text, looks for HTML links, and it will follow link after link after link, basically hitting every link in a website. A crawler will not do things that typically cause actions like posts or any sort of form submittals. But yeah, they're just using some sort of web crawler. Let's see if there's any in Rust. Asynchronous web crawling engine, 6 months ago, 7 days ago. Voyager. Lots of these have Very little usage. Headless Chrome. Oh, I see. Yeah, bugs were crawling across the page. Package. See, that did not build. What do we have? Line height in the scope. Oh, that's right, I did get rid of that. Screen, text, line height in meters, 1. That should be all of them. 10, 5. Where did the others go? Really? Am I going the wrong direction? Are they overlapping? I don't see it. Yeah, there were spiders. Draw call's the same. We're passing line height in meters in. Oh, but this is all scaled. Oh, that's right. That's right. We need to multiply that. Well, that in inverse. We have to undo the scaling on it. There we go. Line height in meters, 1. Oh, that looks perfect. Alright, now width in meters. See, this isn't quite right. we said 1. Maybe that second M doesn't fit. 1.1, 1.2. Ah. Two feds. That's strange. I mean, it might be just on that threshold. Because 2 meters is supposed to be a little bit wider than that. And it's only filling up 1. We should be able to get 1 more M in there at least. Line width here. This seems useless now, the units per meter, because it's just 1 to 1. Close this down, save it, sure. Come back. Pick it up, run it. Oh, that's better. Got that third M on there. Good. So we say 2.5. Much nicer. That looks accurate. Okay. And if we do line height in meters and we give this a negative, it goes down. Negative line height. Technically, that should be, you should always wrap and go down. There. I'll fix that. What about the rest of this? Now, in our case, we're going to reset this rotation. Give that a save. Say, this is a test of a very long text that runs on forever and ever and ever. Period. Should be 5 meters wide. Did I spell somehow? I did. Oh, I see. I moved the... All right, now. Now, it should be offset by 1 line height already. So by default, the line height should be... Here, you know what, let's save this. Save and close. Because I don't want the origin being to the left and bottom of the first bit of text. It should be on the top left. Make you think of noodle soup. Okay. Now if we come back to screen, text, Not make that negative anymore. There we go. However, now, because anchor point for text is right over there, where you see that. This front view. No, not right. Oh, did I have it? I had it right to begin with. All right. So that should be kind of over here. And the text should be inside this area. How do you do clipping in Godot? Can you do clipping? I haven't thought about that before. In 3D, can you do it? I mean, you could do it with a shader. I think you have to use a shader for that. All right, now let's adjust the first line so that it goes down 1. Get rid of some of these while we're at it. Stencil buffer. I don't know, let's check. Script. No, I'm not seeing it. Flip. Let's see, geometry. Filter clip mode clip. That's the 2D stuff. Yeah, the red stuff is the 3D bits. Yeah, not seeing it. There we go. That doesn't look too bad. This looks so much better than the text we initially had. We're doing the 2D and 3D trick from the documentation, and it just didn't come across right. This comes across so clean. You can use a 2D scene and place it on a plane of 3D, but it just looked pixelated. All right, let's adjust this a touch. That position. Here, I'm going to try to run this. I want to see what it looks like in the scene now. I mean, it looks as crisp as the rest of it. And make sure. Let's see. So That's what it looks like now. The text is much, much more crisp than it had been in the past. Why? Oh, I see what I did. There we go. I did try to turn up anisotropic filtering, but also with this, I can now put shaders on the text, which I think is going to be great. So, we have more interesting text effects. It just seems cool to me. More than sarcastic, Dante. So that's working. Wow, I did not expect to get this far today. Let's make sure we get this committed. And it, yes, it is supposed to look crisp. I didn't want, well, it's supposed to look like a futuristic text in some cases. And so if I wanted to downsample it or make it look pixelated, that's easy. But making it look crisp is hard. So that looks, I don't know, that just looks gorgeous. I think we got the right amount of the tessellation is just enough, like it's subtle enough that if you zoomed in you could probably see this. I don't think it's going to be an issue. Really, we should adjust that value based on the size of the font, but if you have it really small it's not going to be as visible. But it's hard to say because this is going to be in 3D space, so how close are you? How big is it on your screen? I think we've come up with a decent amount. The round bits look round. I mean, knowing where those edges are, you can see it. You have to get in there pretty close. I'm thinking for like putting text in other games too. This would work pretty well. A little surprised with the number of vertices, because the multi-mesh is supposed to be able to reuse and reduce, so the number of draw calls should be quite low. Surprised that there are 136 draw calls. So if we go into the debugger, profiler, that topology looks inefficient to you? What do you mean? Most of its idle time. Looks like it has a lot of tiny triangles in places where they don't make a big difference. We could change the tessellator. Right now we're using Lyon. But you're right, if this was more of a constrained tessellation, the triangles could be represented slightly different. I wonder. Go to documentation. But if you wanted to look a little bit more at this, let's see, let's go to the docs on Lyon tessellation. Rendering the tessellator geometry, flattening and tolerance. Maybe in fill options. We're not using the default tolerance for this. Actually, we currently remove a lot of triangles. Seems okay. Doesn't look like it has what I'm looking for. Maybe the fill tessellator. I mean, maybe after the fact. It could be like re-tessellated. We'll see if that ends up being an issue. Profiler is interesting, but it doesn't seem to give me much information. The monitors are nice. And we connect to it. Can I remote profile it? I don't know if that's a local or remote profiling. But we should be able to dig into this and see the mesh instances. Let's collapse this. Take that out of the way. Oh, what was that in there? Profiling. Oh, I see. So there are these multi-mesh instances. And they're supposed to be fairly efficient. So we should be able to have many pieces of text on screen with fewer draw calls. Again, I don't know why the draw calls here are so high. I drop the gizmos and, well, there goes the information. Ooh, a cinematic preview. I don't remember seeing that. Huh. Anyhow. Well, that's pretty neat. Next, let's see, what comes next? Probably gonna have to pause for a bit and figure out what the next stage is. We've been on building text for so long, 2 weeks now. I'm gonna have to figure out what the next portion is. So, one draw call per letter. I mean, that's what it feels like. If we look at the documentation, multi-mesh, which is what we're using, low-level mesh instancing. Draw thousands of mesh instance nodes. Drawing them can be slow, since each object is submitted to the GPU, then drawn individually. Multi-mesh is much faster and can draw thousands of instances with a single draw call, resulting in less overhead. Drawback: if they're too far away, performance may be reduced, as everything is drawn. Yeah. So, we're currently managing all of this stuff, and that's already been set up and works. I do not do anything with the color of the instance. That's funny though. Good. I wonder if there is any bug. And yes, oh, that's right. I do have it set up for 1 draw per letter, but really that should be less than 30 draw calls, right? Go to the community. I want to go to the GitHub. Shows. Multi-mesh. I don't see much in here. It renders all instances of a particular letter at the same time, because I have 1 multi-mesh per letter, as each letter is its own mesh. Let's say they have a number of closed bugs here. Oh, each mesh instance will result in a draw call. we're using multi-meshes. Now what's a CSG mesh? Or a CSG node? Alright, I do not think we're using that. I don't think I'm using a CSG node. Let's just double check that. Where are we creating the meshes? Yeah, here's where we deal with the mesh instances. What's our array mesh? Glyph. Go. Here's where we test light, and you can see we're using the tolerance of 2.0 for the Leon fill option test lighter. Yeah, that should all work. Okay, well, maybe it's just something that's different with the editor. So how are we going to make this look pretty? Keypad itself is drawn. Keys are drawn. I want to toss some shaders on the background, etc. The border should look a little bit more sci-fi, kind of holographic. Our buttons. Let's see, can we turn them all off? Yeah. Oh, that's green. Why are you green? Oh, I see. That's fine. It's getting overridden elsewhere. Here. Alright, well I think I'm going to take a break. A little bit of a short stream today. Want to hang out Discord or ask Russ questions, etc. etc. Discord's over there. I occasionally toss the archives up on YouTube. Want the archives? Scan Sans attack for somebody to raid. I gotta get the what stream up and working. Maybe I'll do that after work today. Ah, we will run raid anti. Wonder if he's on his boat today. Well, thank you for hanging out. Nice of you to stop by. Till next time, y'all. Bye-bye.